my kind and inquisitive Virgo friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. A Virgo, this week arrives with a curious sense of weightlessness, almost as if you're standing at the edge of something new, feeling both drawn and unsteady. There's an undercurrent of anticipation threading through your days, a subtle tension between what you know and what you wonder about yourself. Perhaps you notice it in the quiet moments when the world slows, and you catch yourself questioning whether you're ready for the next step, or simply restless for change. It's not anxiety exactly, but a soft, persistent hum. There's a part of you that yearns to trust the unknown, yet it's as if your heart is holding its breath. This week, the familiar comfort of routine feels oddly thin, and the urge to loosen your grip on certainty grows stronger. It's a gentle, private unease, a longing for fresh air, but also a fear of losing your footing. You sense that something is shifting within, though words for it haven't quite arrived. And so, in the landscape of your inner life, the Fool quietly makes itself known. This isn't the loud leap of faith, nor the brash confidence of someone who knows where every path leads. Instead, it's the quieter version, a hesitant, almost innocent curiosity stirring inside you. You might find yourself replaying the same thoughts, circling the idea of change, wondering if you're naive for wanting something different. There's a vulnerability here, a willingness to admit you don't have all the answers, which for you can feel both uncomfortable and strangely liberating. You sense old patterns loosening their hold, even as new possibilities seem just out of reach. There's a freshness to your outlook, but it's tinged with questions rather than certainty. Emotionally, you may be pulled between the urge to protect yourself from disappointment and the desire to let go, to see what happens if you step forward unguarded. You notice tiny moments of trust, an openness to small risks, even if it's just saying yes to a new idea or letting someone see you as you are. There's a quiet hopefulness in your gaze this week, though it's paired with self-doubt and the old reflex to analyze every move. Still, beneath all the mental chatter, something simple and alive is trying to surface. It's as if your heart is nudging you to try, to wander, to greet the world with less armor. The unspoken tension comes from not knowing if you're allowed to begin again, or if the ground will hold you when you do. Yet, even with all the uncertainty, there's a subtle, growing trust, the sense that you can be both cautious and open, both wise and willing to learn. It's this very inner state, the mixture of trepidation and hope, the willingness to be new, that quietly shapes the week ahead. When you allow yourself to be a beginner, the world responds differently. The gentle vulnerability you feel isn't a weakness but a kind of invitation, drawing in fresh experiences and unexpected support. Uncertainty creates space for possibility, and the subtle unrest you carry becomes the soft engine that propels you into motion. The longing to step out, even shakily, sets events in motion. What you feel inside colors what unfolds around you. Conversations take on a different tone, choices seem to open up, and you find yourself at the threshold of moments that would not have arrived if you stayed hidden. It's not about grand gestures, but about letting the small acts of trust ripple outward. This is where the week's path takes shape, embodied by the Queen of Wands. The momentum around you builds, not as a tidal wave but as a pulsing energy that insists on movement. You may notice that people seek your attention. Situations arise that require your presence, your warmth, your willingness to engage. There's a pressure here, a friction between your desire to observe and the world's invitation to participate. Life asks you to show up a bit more boldly, to hold your space in the room and let your intuition speak. You may feel the urge to express yourself more openly, to let your opinions or passions surface without apology. The energy around you is dynamic, even if it's not always comfortable. You might notice that others look to you for reassurance or guidance, even as you're still figuring things out for yourself. There's a sense of being seen, of your presence making a difference whether you intended it or not. This can feel exhilarating, but it can also bring up old worries about being too much or not enough. The week asks you to hold your own complexity, to honor both your uncertainty and your gifts. You'll likely experience moments where your boundaries are tested, where the urge to retreat competes with the opportunity to connect. Small frictions appear, maybe a conversation that challenges you or a task that seems just outside your comfort zone. Yet within this momentum there's warmth and creative possibility. Each interaction, each choice feels charged with the potential for something more. The world nudges you to embody your authenticity, to trust your instincts, and to let the spark inside you be visible, even if it flickers at first. The path isn't smooth, but it's alive. The pressures are real, yet they invite you to grow, not by abandoning your hesitancy, but by letting it walk beside your courage. If you meet the week's energy head-on, your presence becomes a source of inspiration for others, even as you discover new aspects of yourself. Everything hinges on your willingness to participate, to be both vulnerable and bold, even in small ways. Yet the promise of this week isn't automatic. Your potential, as suggested by the moon, reveals itself only when you meet these pressures with conscious attention. Growth emerges not from pushing past discomfort, but from exploring it gently with curiosity. The moon brings an atmosphere of mystery, of dreams and shadows, an invitation to let your imagination roam, to trust what you sense beneath the surface. If you greet uncertainty with openness, you may discover that your intuition sharpens, that you become more attuned to subtle signals in yourself and others. This is a time for listening to your inner tides, for letting questions breathe rather than rushing to answers. The potential here is deep, to make friends with ambiguity, to find peace in not knowing, to draw creative inspiration from the places that once felt confusing. You may uncover emotions you'd set aside, or find that your fears reveal surprising wisdom when you allow them space. There is no promise of clarity, but there is an invitation to dwell in the richness of your own experience, to notice dreams, flashes of insight, and the gentle shifts in your mood. Growth this week means letting the unknown be a companion rather than a threat. It means trusting that meaning will emerge in its own time, and that your own sensitivity is not a flaw but a guide. In this gentle exploration, you find resilience you didn't know you had, a quiet confidence that grows not from certainty, but from the willingness to keep going, step by step. Looking back across these three energies, you can see the story of your week as a gentle arc, beginning with the hesitant openness of the Fool, shaped by the dynamic, sometimes challenging pressures of the Queen of Wands, and deepened by the intuitive, mysterious invitation of the Moon. Every stage asks you to hold space for uncertainty, to greet the new with both caution and hope. The thread running through your days is one of quiet courage, the bravery to begin, the strength to participate, and the wisdom to listen to what isn't yet clear. Even if you move slowly or feel unsure, you are moving. Each small act of trust, each time you let yourself be seen or honor your own questions, becomes a kind of anchor, grounding you in the present moment. There is reassurance here. You don't have to have it all figured out. Your willingness to be present, to notice, to try again is enough. This week you are both the seeker and the guide, the beginner and the wise observer. The unknown is not your enemy but your teacher. And beneath all the shifting surface you remain steady, capable, and quietly brave. Actionable insights for Virgo this week. This week's gentle tension can invite you to try moving through your day with one small, unplanned choice. You might pause for a few moments to notice what your body is feeling before you answer a request or share your opinion. Consider letting yourself rest for a few minutes when you sense uncertainty rising and see what new thought appears. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I let myself begin even if I'm unsure. I honor the quiet hope inside me. My presence matters even when I feel uncertain. I trust that each step is enough. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.